Number 10. Yuri Gagarin. The son of a carpenter, Yuri Gagarin was born in a small village in the Soviet Union in 1934 and was meant to become one of the most recognized and admired personalities of the 20th century when he became the first man in history to make it to space in 1961. Only 7 years after his unique accomplishment, he died while on a routine training flight in a MiG-15 UTI crash near Kirzhach. He was only 34 and had so many stories to share with the world about his experiences in outer space. Number 9. Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. The original boy wonder and one of the most significant and influential musicians of all time, Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart's impact on the modern world can be traced to this day in operas, athletic events, films, plays, political campaigns, and numerous other areas where his music accompanies the events. It might sound unbelievable, especially after taking into account how Mozart composed more than 600 works during his lifetime, but the truth is he left this world quite young, at 35, and every historian out there considers it a sure thing that had he lived longer, the world of classical music would be even richer thanks to his creations. Number 8. Vincent van Gogh. Even though he's widely considered one of the greatest painters who ever lived, the Dutch legend sold only one painting in his lifetime, the Red Vineyard near Arles, the Vigna Rouge, now located in the Pushkin Museum of Fine Arts in Moscow. He committed suicide at age 37 after suffering for too long from mental illness. Number 7. Tutankhamun. Tutankhamun's tomb is probably the most important archaeological discovery in history, and the Boy King is widely considered one of the most famous historical figures ever. His face, more specifically, his golden death mask, has given us one of the most iconic images anywhere, even though he never made it to adulthood. A DNA study recently revealed that the young king died of complications from a broken leg that was exacerbated by malaria, at the age of only 19. Number 6. Christopher Marlowe. Christopher Marlowe was an English playwright, poet, and translator of the Elizabethan era. He is considered one of the two greatest playwrights of his age, the other being Shakespeare, on whom he had a strong influence. Unfortunately, his career was cut short when he was stabbed to death in a bar brawl over a bill. He was only 29, and most modern scholars believe the literary world never got the opportunity to see or read masterpieces by his hand of the magnitude of Shakespeare's works. Number 5. Joan of Arc. Joan of Arc, also known as the Maid of Orleans, was a legendary French heroine who played an extremely significant role during the Lancastrian phase of the 100 Years' War. She was later canonized as a Roman Catholic saint. She was captured at Compiègne by the Burgundian faction that was allied with the English and was burned at the stake on May 30, 1431, at age 19, though her legacy still lives on to this day. Number 4. Diana, Princess of Wales. Princess Diana was one of the most beloved people and the most photographed woman in the world at the time she was killed alongside her billionaire boyfriend in a high-speed car crash in Paris in 1997. She was only 36 at the time, and many people felt as though she left her philanthropy and charity work unfinished, and with it 2 sons, William and Harry. Number 3. Napoleon. The son of Napoleon Bonaparte, who named him as his successor, Napoleon II never actually ruled France. However, he was seen by the French as a savior and the one who would rebuild his father's empire. In 1832, he caught pneumonia and was bedridden for several months. His poor health eventually overtook him, and on July 22, 1832, Napoleon II died of tuberculosis at age 21. Number 2. Amelia Earhart. Amelia Earhart made history when she became the first female pilot to fly across the Atlantic. She was also a decorated member of the National Woman's Party and an early supporter of the Equal Rights Amendment when she mysteriously disappeared while flying over the Pacific in 1937. She was 41, which may not be young by some people's standards, but she was in her prime and had much to contribute to the struggle of women for equal rights. Number 1. Alexander the Great. According to most historians, the Greek king was the greatest general in history and one of the very few who never felt the taste of defeat on the battlefield. Within the 15 years that his campaign lasted, from age 18 to 33, when he died, he managed to conquer most of the then known world, and his empire spread from Greece all the way to India. Many contemporary historians believe that had Alexander lived longer, the Roman Empire might never have emerged, and a united kingdom of Greece would have retained a more dominant role in the West and East.